So my cousin Josh here just got this nice buck. We are 1 mile from the truck, so we've got some work ahead of us. But I'm going to show you how to save this cape if you're going to mount this. So before we start taking it apart and getting it in our packs, I'm going to split this neck from here in between the ears. And if you look on a deer, they've got a nice like black line down the center of their back, so you kind of want to just stay on that black line. You could do this at the end, but this, by splitting it up now, it's going to make it a little easier when we get down to trying to get the meat off the neck. And then I can keep this incision a lot straighter for a taxidermist when they go to sew it back up. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do before I start working on taking this deer apart is I'm going to mark. My dad's actually a taxidermist, and one of his pet peeves was a customer would come in with a nice trophy and the cape would be cut off to like here. And so if you're going to think about mounting something, you want to make sure you just give yourself plenty of distance, and so give yourself even more than you would think. And one quick way you can do that without just getting hair all over the meat is you can just cut a few reference holes, just a couple little punctures. That you'll be able to see when you get back in there. So I just went maybe 8-10 inches past this joint of the front shoulder. So for the front leg, I have to come in and just come right on the back side of the leg. And clean cut all the way down. I should have actually stopped right there on cutting this for potentially if it's a mount. It's still a straight incision, so they could sew that up. But sorry, Dad, if you see that video and you get mad. And try to cut this straight across. I'm just going to skin the leg out all the way up a little bit past the knee joint. The muscle always sticks to the skin a little bit here, so you can be real careful since we may potentially mount this one. I'll try not to cut holes in the hide, but you can come up against the hide and keep most of that muscle attached to the carcass. Okay, leg is skinned out. Slowing down when you're by your own legs. Put the knife through the work and don't push it through. Just grab the hide and pull. Okay, now's a good time to go ahead and cut this front leg off. Okay. Okay, I've already skinned down to where I left off on the other side. It gets a little confusing right here with all these folds of skin, especially kind of on these big bucks. Starting to rut, their necks get kind of big. So kind of try not to cut a bunch of holes that the taxidermist have to sew up. So there's that incision I made for the cape, right? So now that's going to help me when I get to the point of skinning out and deboning the neck. That'll relieve some tension and make it easier. Exposing all that nice hamburger meat that's on the neck. And kind of refer back to the animal. You're basically, there's a joint right here that you can kind of feel. That's kind of where you're trying to get to. And like I said before, if you were not saving this animal, if you just split this all the way up to there, it's super easy to peel off. A little tougher when you're saving the cape. Okay, so there's that bone I was showing you that I was feeling. So I know that's basically as far as I need to go. And then okay, we are going to take the head off. And so to do that, you're looking for the main neck joint. And so since we've split this cape back here, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to skin this back a little ways. And there's the base of the skull. You can feel it right there. And you're going to come down, cutting straight down into that area. And I'm also going to make sure I've got the cape kind of up and away from underneath here. Okay, so now I see what I was looking for. If I bring the camera over, we can kind of look right down into that. You can see that's where the brain stem comes in, and that's that first vertebrae. It's nice polished joint area, and you're trying to just kind of cut all the tendons around that spot, kind of expose that joint, and then once it's to that point, you want to kind of cut the tendons around the underneath side of that area and the meat all the way back up to that joint, to the neck, both sides. And once you feel like it's pretty much free, then there's a little trick that you can do. That. Twist and pull, and voila! Your head has been removed here. Alright, so one other thing I wanted to show you real quickly before I start packing this thing up. If you remember when I first started, I cut this incision here down the back of the neck. I also cut a few little holes. These are little guide holes that tell me now that it's off the body, it's hard to figure out how much cape to leave. But if you remember, those were like 8 or 10 inches past the joint of the front leg. So I'll take the cape and lay it out like this. There's my other one. So I'm just going to imagine a line with those. I might cut this off and not have to carry this back half of the hide out. You see how the hair just goes everywhere? That's why we do the technique we do, peel the hide back, because if you start cutting into the deer everywhere like this, you're just going to get hair everywhere on your meat. Okay, we can pack that out and not have to carry this back half of the hide. All right, that's how it's done. Hope you learned a lot.